Hey guys, I'm Bajwa here, and in this video I will show you how I get a 40x return on investment using a simple cold email system. And I will walk you through step-by-step process. I'll show you the entire math, the model, how much it's costing to get like a call booked in, to acquire a customer, the cost per lead, and all the numbers that you could expect, because I saw most people who messaged me and who are looking, and even the B2B businesses, the agency owners, the entrepreneurs who want to get started in the cold email, like who want to use cold email to acquire more customers and generate more leads. They don't have an exact number of, let's say, if they put in a certain dollars, how much they could get back. And of course, it depends upon each single business and their unit case economics and what it's like. But I will give you a model where you can input your own numbers and you could come up with approximately how much you could generate based on your business metrics and everything in detail. So, and I will also link the resource down in the YouTube description so you can get it, and you can follow along, and I will break down everything. So without wasting any more time, let's dive right into it on how I'm achieving these results. So let's get started on how I get a 40x ROI using a simple cold email system. Of course, the ROI can be 10x, 20x, or even 80x based on different variables, which I'll just break down quickly. And I have this resource which I'll share with you, but let's dive right into it on how I am achieving these results. So firstly, as you can see, the model, I'll just put myself in the corner so I can break down the math, right? So what we're essentially doing is, as I explained in the last video, if you haven't watched this video, so I'll just go through the model once again. So what we're essentially doing in our outbound is we have a system which can help us reach 10,000 new leads per month. We'll build a targeted lead list. Then we'll use hyper personalization to reach out to each single lead. We'll use cold email, as you can see here, and we'll use LinkedIn prospecting. Mainly our main channel for outreach would be cold email. We'll get between a 1 to 5% lead rate, and based on that, we'll get 60 to 70% qualified leads. We'll get a meeting booked, and we'll do all the stuff, which is nurturing, follow up, demo call, long call, and close deal. So this is what the model is from a high level overview to achieve these kind of numbers. So now in this video, you will understand what's the math behind it, like how much it's going to cost to generate a show up based on, of course, how much it's costing you in terms of software and everything. So this is more of like how much you can expect in terms of cost per lead. And I'll also show you how you can diagnose all the problems. Let's say if you're not getting enough appointments booked, what can you exactly do, which variable you can change. And I'll keep making more videos. So let's dive right into it. So the contacts we hit per month, which is the leads we contact per month, is going to be 10,000 leads. And you can easily reach 2,500 new prospects per week using cold email plus LinkedIn, mainly cold email. It can even be 5,000 per week if your total addressable market is large enough and you can send more emails, which means you need more domains, more workspaces, and all the basic stuff. And I'll break down where you can get leads quickly and easily without you having to look around, and how you can get leads in affordable rates if you are just getting started. So the outbound systems, including cold email plus LinkedIn, will cost you per month about $1,000. And the reason why it's $1,000 is it will help you reach between 10,000 and more leads per month, and each kind of email that we'll send is going to be extremely hyper personalized. And I have a sheet which will break down the cost, like how it's separated, why is it $1,000, so you'll understand. Now, this is kind of the main thing. So if we divide the number of leads, if we divide C6, which is the total contacts hit, divide by the cost, we get we get 10 cents, which means it's costing us 10 cents to basically reach out to each single lead. And if we achieve the worst case scenario, if we get only a 0.25% appointment booking rate, which I also mentioned in the last video, if you haven't watched it, this is kind of the worst case scenario. Let's say we only achieve a 0.25% appointment booking rate, then the cost per lead, based on simple mathematics, you can even change it based on the numbers of your business, based on the simple maths, we'll get a cost per lead of about $40. So that is a cost per lead. And based on what we see on average, let's say only 60% of those people convert on a demo booking. Out of those, we get a cost per demo booked or a cost per call booked or a cost per appointment of about $66. That's a cost per appointment booked, not show up. And let's say out of those, and this is based on the average numbers that we've seen, you get a 70% show up rate. Then the cost per show up, so each sales call conducted or each demo booked, each demo call conducted will cost you about $95. And this is, of course, based on the number of contacts you hit per month, and then how much it's costing you to hit these contacts. It could be more, it could be less. You can make a copy and change the inputs and tailor this model to your own business. So let's say now you achieve a 20% close rate, which is kind of at the minimum. You can even do a 10% if that's your closing rate right now, if that's how much you can close. This means, of course, you talk to 10 people, you only close 2. So the cost per acquisition, so essentially this is kind of the main metric. So it's costing you $476 to acquire a customer, where the lifetime value of that customer, if you're selling a high ticket service, let's say, or if you're even selling a mid ticket service on a month to month basis, or even like a SaaS product, we can change this number. It's actually, it's costing you $476 to acquire a customer that's going to pay you $20,000 in total lifetime value. And of course, if you change, and it means you're getting a 4,000% or 41x return on investment during the total lifetime value of customers. And that's why I said here, it can be 10x, 20x, or 80x based on different variables. So if you change from 20 to, let's say, 5, let's say your SaaS product, the lifetime value is only, or let's say your service is only month to month, let's say it's 5K, then of course it's nearly like 9.5x or nearly 10x. If you increase the closing rate, it'll be more. So of course, these numbers depend upon your business, but you can approximate, you can predict how much kind of, you can approximate the number of results, or you can predict the results that you could achieve using this simple model and this simple sheet. And even if you don't get the exact numbers, you will at least get close to it. So you will know like how much money you could possibly generate based on these numbers, right? So now there are a few pros, and I'll also break down the sheet. Like there are a few pros which I mentioned. It's fast to set up. You can set it up under 1 month. You can reach CEOs, founders. It's easy to duplicate, hard to manage, technical stuff to set up. When you're starting from scratch, when you're selling high ticket offers, I would even say like the lifetime value should be about like at least I would say 3K to 5K. And when you know who you're targeting, because you'd be building a lead list of exact ICP. Now I want to quickly show you some results, and these are my results. So as you can see, I probably also showed it in the last video, but I'm going to assume that you haven't watched it, or even if you watched it, you haven't looked at it. So the total number of emails sent, let's say, was 14,000, and that means we contacted about 4,000 leads or somewhere around that. We achieved only a 4.3% reply rate, right? And it means 95% of people did not respond to it, but we still created opportunities worth almost $500,000, 102 opportunities. And these are all good opportunities that interested prospects. So let's break down where you need to basically focus if you are starting out, or if you want to implement cold emails. So these are all the kind of things you need to focus on. So you know your numbers, and you know how much it's costing you to generate, let's say, how much it's costing you to generate a lead, a demo booking, a cost per demo, the cost per acquisition. And these are really important numbers that you always should keep into account when you are essentially doing cold email. And most people jump into cold emailing without even figuring out their numbers. And it's fine if you're just starting out and you want to test it out, but you still should have some sort of kind of data of what kind of results you can expect, so you can invest in your cold email setup accordingly. And now I want to break down these steps, which like how you can start and you can achieve these results step by step. So this is what we'll cover from right now. So now you need leads to basically reach out to these businesses. And I'm going to give you, I'm going to let you in on a little secret here. So what you can simply do is, instead of following anyone of what they're telling on how to get Apollo leads, export and spend a lot of money, you can simply go to any Fiverr freelancer who has, there are a lot of Fiverr freelancers who basically sell these Apollo exports. And even if you have like a free trial or something, or let's say if you have a paid trial, Apollo has a 1.5K or 5K credit limit, export limit. So you cannot export more than that, and you need to export email leads out of Apollo so you can do a lot of volume and you can do a lot more stuff which Apollo doesn't really have. I know Apollo has a lot of features, but what we're trying to achieve here is not what Apollo can help us achieve. So what you simply need to do is, if you're looking to export leads out of Apollo, because Apollo does not have more than, like, I would say 1.5K or 5K, or you have to buy these credits. It's going to cost a lot of money, but you can spend this money somewhere else. So what you can simply do is you can go to Fiverr, search like Apollo export, and you will get about 50K Apollo exports, and these are leads for $100. And you will get all these verified leads. Of course, you need to still verify, which I'll tell in the next step, but you will get all this data for just $100. And the goal is, of course, to save money so we can spend it accordingly in where we are getting the most bang for our buck, and not just spend where we could get it for cheaper. And then the next step would be, you need to verify all the leads from Million Verifier. I use Million Verify. It works amazingly well. You can use anything you want, but you need to make sure you always validate. Or if you don't want to use Apollo, if you want to try out different lead sources, I covered that in the last video. So I'm not going to dive deeper, but these are all the sources which you can look at. There's an Airtable. These are all the ones that I've used for different kind of niches. And they are the winners according to me, and these are the ones that I've used. Now, on to the main kind of cost breakdown, which most people asked me in the last video, and probably you might be thinking like, hey, why is it costing me 1K? It could cost you even more, to be honest with you, if you want to do a lot more stuff, if you want to try out a bunch of, but this is the kind of, at the bare minimum, you should be spending to try it out properly, and you should be booking appointments. So this is, of course, instantly the domain cost and everything. So at the end, if we include all this, like lead list building, email validation, AI generation, credits from OpenAI. So if you use GPT 3.5, GPT 4, it might be a bit more expensive. And LinkedIn automation tool. So it's going to cost you about $1,000 to set up this entire system. So it's going to cost you about $1,000 monthly, and about $207 or somewhere around that one time, to keep this machine running, which is getting you more qualified leads and reaching your exact ICP. So I think it's a pretty awesome deal if you're selling a service where the LTV is like over 3K, 5K, or 10K in total lifetime value. Now I've broken down the costs, and I've broken down this also. So now let's talk about how you can track and how you can make sure everything is running smoothly, and how you can basically, as soon as you start getting responses, let's say if you do all these things correctly, and I'll show you how you could write copy perfectly in the next videos, apart from just personalization, which I covered. But what you need to do is you need to make sure you track everything. And what I mean by tracking everything is, when you start your outreach, there are a few things you can do. So you have your Instantly CRM, which is my cold email software of choice. So you can simply see that the meetings you've done, let's say this week or this month, and you can simply diagnose exactly where the problem is, and you can improve. So let me actually show you what I mean here. So let's say you book a certain number of appointments, and this sheet is actually a full-on sales team kind of sheet, which I've been using. I just made a copy of it, and I've added a certain information. So let's start here. And this single thing will help you keep improving the outreach that you're doing. And I've been doing it for a long time, so I know. So let's say the channel that you're using is cold email, and the leads that you are getting is from a certain lead list tool. Is, let's say, for the sake of this video, let's do Apollo. And this is the copy that you're using, and this is the time frame, right? And you've sent, and you know how much outreach you're doing because you can simply see it inside instantly. So there's nothing like you cannot see. You simply have to click a few buttons and you see the emails that you've reached. You can even see the emails that you've reached and everything, leads you've reached, and the outreach sent and everything. So let's take an example of the leads reached. So let's say we reached 4,000 new contacts between this much time, between December 12th to December 30th, for whatever reason. And out of those, we can see we booked, let's say if you go to CRM, it'll show us how much, let's say we booked 10, 16. Let's say we booked 16, yeah. Right, we booked 16 calls. That puts our appointment booking rate, and it's simple maths, and math is extremely important when you're doing something like this. So our appointment booking rate is 0.40%, which is not bad. So this is kind of something which is working fine, right? So we move on to the next thing. So let's say out of those 16 people that we booked, how many showed up? How many were calls conducted? Let's say it was only 10. So that puts our show up rate, which is SUR, at 62%. This is something, if it was, let's say, 50% or somewhere around that, that could have been improved. So we could have done, and I'll show you how you can improve the show up rate and everything. And let's say out of those 8, you close only one deal. So that is, our closing rate is 13%. So we know where exactly we need to improve based on these metrics. And so we can get more yield from our spend in wherever we are spending in terms of our outbound prospecting. And very importantly, you can also keep testing the copy which is working. Of course, you can test the copy inside instantly, but it's kind of something which you can do outside, and you can basically get more clear insights. I know this is just a Google sheet, but it's made in a way where you can dissect and diagnose all the problems that you're having based on, and you can, and as I've said here, you just need to change one variable at a time. You cannot change the subject line, the copy, the lead source, the medium, the way you're following up and all this thing. You just change one thing and you test it again. Because if you do that, then you'll be able to keep everything constant, and you change one variable, and then you can see if this variable that you've changed is resulting in something different, which is probably a better result. Then you can keep improving that. And you need to check the main problems, which is the quality of lead. You can see, like, I'm getting leads from Apollo, right? So if everything is done right, probably is the lead source a problem. Maybe my niches leads are not that good on Apollo, or it could be the number of appointments booked. So if the number of appointment book is an issue, then you need to diagnose, like, hey, are the emails getting delivered properly? Okay, yeah, they are getting delivered. Okay, so is my copy good? Is my offer good? Is my call to action very direct and to the point and short and sweet? I'll show you how you can write copy, which actually prints appointments, but it's like a whole video. It'll take a long time, and I'll break down all the frameworks, the messaging frameworks, the avatar and niche frameworks which you can implement. But yeah, so you can see that if your show up rate is a problem, then of course you need to make sure that you have like a automation setup where the reminders are being sent out. You are nurturing the leads properly. If the closing rate is a problem, that's a sales process issue. You need to make sure that the prospects are pretty warmed up. They've been peppered with the VSL, and all this stuff. And then you also need to make sure your offer is on point. Yeah, so this is how you can improve if you're struggling with your cold email. And this is how I've improved multiple campaigns, and every time I implement it one by one. Of course, it takes some time, probably a few weeks, but after that I have a campaign which is actually booking me consistent appointments, and I have something which is ready to go. So you keep improving it day by day and week by week. One more really important thing. So as soon as you get lead that responds to you, so I'm even going to pull up, I hope I don't get sued by someone from here, but let's say a lead responded to me, like, hey, I'm really interested to book on a call with you. So what would you do? Would you just, let's say if you get 100 responses, are you gonna keep doing it again and again 100 times, or 200 responses? I'm just giving you an example. Let's say you get 20, 30. The best way to do it is have a knowledge base ready to get the best kind of responses in hand in a Google Doc sheet, which is, I've just posted these examples here. These are not the exact ones that I use. So you can have a knowledge base ready, and you can simply keep adding the ones that are performing well, and then you can reuse the ones that are working well. So let's say someone responds positively, you can say like, hey John, thanks for responding. Sure, I'd love to see if there's a fit. And if they say like, tell me what you do, you can say, you can watch this quick video, you can have a video recorded, you can have a slide deck ready, and you can send a Calendly link if you think your niche is responding well to Calendly. So yeah, so what I mean is have a knowledge base ready, so you don't have to type message each single time. And of course, you can personalize. You can also add in, apart from this, you can say, let's say, you can say like, based on the company name, you can add in a line. I just checked out your website. It was really cool. And then you can come up, and then you can continue with, I'm available this week and things like that. But you need to have call to actions ready based on prospects' responses already. Now, you can also keep instantly on your phone. So I keep instantly on my phone. So as soon as I get a response, I can respond back immediately if I'm not on my laptop or computer. So now another really important thing. So let's say you book in manually. Yeah. So this is really important. So what I mean here is most kind of people, if you're in the B2B space, mostly, sometimes they will not book in through a Calendly. Why? Because they don't have time. And if you book them in manually through your Google Calendar or something like that, and they get a reminder, then they will jump on a call. Of course, the first priority would be to get them to book in themselves using a Calendly, because it will also show their willingness about your offer and about if they need help with something where you can pitch in. But the worst case scenario, most of the times you have to book in manually, and it's completely fine to do that, because if you keep sending Calendly links and you don't get people booking in, you know where the problem is, right? Because they don't have time, they don't trust you yet, and they don't want to spend even a few minutes in booking. So why not just take their email, put it in your Google Calendar, send them a manual invite, and then just send them an email. Hey, I sent you an invite at 8 p.m. Eastern time. That's what you said. So I'll see you then. And I'll send you a reminder a few hours before. Really important thing. This is how I fix my appointment the show up rates, and for my clients as well. So there are a few things you can do. Of course, you need to have like a reminder sequence set up, which gets sent out immediately someone books a call. You can set it up 24 hours before, 16 hours before, and you can even send them through Calendly like a reconfirm email, where they have to click a button to reconfirm if they'd be showing up. And you can even send some case studies and testimonials before they jump on a call. Apart from that one trick that I've seen other people using, and I've also started implementing it, you or your SDR, your inside sales team, could essentially send them a message on WhatsApp or a voicemail like, hey John, I'm really excited to talk to you. I see that you've booked in a call. We'll go over this on our call, and XYZ. And we'll also cover all the details about your business, your AI solution, and all this stuff. So you can essentially send a voicemail. And of course, that depends upon the region you're in. If you're in EU, you have to take all this into account. If they've given you consent into reaching their personal phone, their business phone, or their WhatsApp. So you have to take all this into account, but you can always send reminder sequences on their email. Another thing you could do is have a VSL. What I mean is, as soon as they book, if they're booking a call in Calendly, you can redirect them to a thank you page. And this is really important. I'll even show you thank you as thank you. And I don't want you guys to copy me or anything, because you can. if you want to, but I'm just saying. So you can have a thank you page if they're booking in through Calendly, and you can tell them like, hey, please accept, confirm your booking, click here, and all this stuff, and watch this presentation. And you also can guide them through like, hey, be in a quiet place and all this stuff. And you can have a video where you make sure you emphasize on showing up for the call, because otherwise you'll get a lot of no-shows. So you can have a thank you page, and this is for if they're booking in through something like your Calendly. If you're booking in manually, you can send them video sales letter in their email where you emphasize like, hey, please watch this video before our call. And you try to basically also emphasize like, hey, please show up for the call. And then you basically go on with your pitch to get them to agree into the sales argument. So this is everything for this video. And let me actually take a look from a high level overview. I think I've covered everything. And what you can simply do to change is you can make a copy. You can simply click on file, make a copy, and then you can change the number. So let's say the lifetime value of your client is $10,000, and it's costing you not $1 but $2,000 for some reason, right? And it'll change the numbers because simple maths. There's nothing here. And what it means is the cost to acquire a customer is $952 based on the numbers. And let's say your closing rate is 30% for some reason, right? So now the return on investment based on the lifetime value is 14.7x or 1,475%. And this single tool and the other things that I've shown will significantly help you in predicting how much money you could make, what it's going to cost, based on, of course, the numbers and everything. So you could invest, and you can see like, hey, I can basically invest in cold emails. I can spend a little more because it's getting me more yields. That's the only goal of this sheet. And the last thing is, of course, once you get them to show up, then you basically need to also close them. So what all of my clients and I have been doing previously, not always, but most of the times, you do a quick discovery call of like 15 to 20 minutes or even 30 minutes, and you see if they're a fit based on their offer, based on whatever, of course, if you can help them or not, or if they can use your product, your service, whatever you're selling. And you can also skip the discovery. You can do the discovery on the same call, and you can try and get the deal closed in the same call. So I'm not sure the process, of course, you follow, but let me know if you want me to show you how I personally have been closing like $15,000 deals in 60 minutes or 1 hour or 90 minutes. I can share the entire script, the whole sales process, which I use from getting the appointment booked to keep nurturing the lead so they agree into the sales argument before they hop on the call. And once they hop on the call, what kind of questions that I ask based on, of course, my offer. You can change that in from your offer to get them to pay me like $5,000 per month or somewhere around that, more than that, or in total lifetime value $15,000 to $20,000. So let me know if you want me to make a video like this or whatever you want to see next. I have some videos planned out, but if you guys tell me in the comments, I would highly appreciate it, because I then would understand like what kind of content do you guys want to see, so I can make more videos on that. So yeah, if I make a video on that, most kind of gurus would charge $20,000 for it, and I will share this for completely free on this YouTube video. All of my clients and I have been using this kind of script for the last couple of years, and I've perfected it, and I've kept improving it. So now I have like a script which is working really well. So let me know if you have any questions in terms of the unit case economics, in the software cost, or anything else, and I'd be more than happy to help. And go ahead and subscribe to my channel, and like this video, and comment below what you want to see next, because I personally am reading all the comments and I'm replying to each single one of you. So just let me know what you want to see next, what kind of questions you have, and I'd love to help you guys out. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.